Hi, good morning, grade 9 students. I hope you are all good. You are safe and healthy. For today's discussion or recorded discussion, we'll tackle about the topic I gave last week in your async activity during the break. Okay, so we will just discuss more about it today. So please sit back, relax, and listen. Okay, so our learning target for today, I can practice proper portion control, storage, and creative sandwich preparation. Okay, but before we move on to that, let's just have a review on how we are going to assemble uh, a simple ham sandwich. Okay, so I have here random steps on how we should assemble a simple ham sandwich. Okay, so can you guess what will be the first step, the second, third, up to the last, um, up to the last step? Okay, so as you can see here, the first one, of course, it should be letter F. Okay, you are going to do a mise en place. So it means you should put in place all of your ingredients. Okay, so you are ready for assembling of sandwich na. So from tools to ingredients, it should be prepared and ready to use. Okay, so after that is, sorry, yan. Okay, so after that, the second step is the bread. Okay, so you should prepare the bread, which is the bread served as the base or the structure of your sandwich. It should be in good quality, in good condition, and tasty also. Okay, so that is letter A. Then the third one is letter G. So put the spread in your sandwich. Okay, so naka-prepare na yung bread niyo. Second, or the second to put is the spread. Okay, actually, the spread should be in the top and bottom bread. Okay, so both breads na gagamitin, mas maigi na lagyan siya. Okay, it should be put enough because too much spread din naman will sag your sandwich. Okay, and make sure also not to spread too much on the side. Okay, create at least maybe 1/4 inch border. Okay, hindi lalagpas, hindi sagad-sagad dun sa gilid or sa side ng bread ninyo. Okay, so because the role of the spread is to help the base or the bread to hold the fillings and to put them together or to bind them together. Okay, so mas maigi if both sides is merong spread. Okay? Pero not too much spread, of course. Yung enough lang. Then the next one is, yes, that is D. Okay, so next is the leafy vegetables such as the green lettuce. Common na yung green lettuce na nilalagay natin. Okay, because the other type of lettuce such as romaine lettuce and iceberg lettuce is masyadong crunchy or masyadong matigas. Okay, ang kanyang structure pag if we going to put it in our sandwich. Okay, so green lettuce kasi may crispiness din naman siya but soft and tender then the quality is good or much in our sandwich. Okay, so 1 to 2 cut of lettuce is enough. It should not overlap too much on the sides of the bread. Okay, and one I learned also for the leafy vegetables, much better than some of the recipes, shredded siya. Okay, mga leafy vegetables natin. So, pag kinagat is hindi mahihilo ng buo yung vegetable ninyo. Okay, pero okay lang din naman yan if a simple sandwich lang naman. Okay? Then, followed by, after this one, yes, followed by the other chosen vegetables. Kung ano man yan, pipino, cucumber, tomato, onion, pickles, yan. And also, the ham. Okay, wala lang sa picture. Pero after that one is the ham na. Okay? Then after that one, put the top bread already. Okay? Then i-press yun ng konti but not too much. Maybe you just press it down a little bit so it will bind together. And after that one, next is to cut the sandwich based on your choice, based on your preference. If you prefer to cut it, if lang naman, okay? But before you cut it, let it sit first, maybe for a few minutes, or press it down a little bit, okay? To hold the ingredients, to bind them. Then cut your sandwich before wrapping if you are doing a mass production. Okay? If you prefer na nakakat siya. If hindi, okay lang din naman na you wrap it already, okay, na hindi nakakat. So it's actually on your preference, okay? Then, ayun, yun na pala. I think, okay. So, sa wrapping. Okay, of course, wrapping is important in your sandwich so that all of the ingredients from the spread up to the fillings that you put kasi magkakaiba sila. So, wrapping or sit it in a few minutes and put it in the refrigerator helps it na mag-combine yung texture, mag-combine yung taste ng flavor ng inyong sandwich. Okay? So, that's it. So, after this one, let's discuss the portion control. Okay? So, sa pinakita ko kanina, somehow, you saw how to assemble the sandwich, the portion, each portion. So, let's discuss it more to this one. Okay, why it is important and how you're going to monitor the portion control. Okay, this is very important for mass production. When we say mass production, maramihang gawa. Okay, not just a single sandwich. Okay, so pwede nang hindi nyo intindihin si portion control if you are just going to make a sandwich for your personal purposes lang naman, para lang naman sa inyo. So, hindi naman siya ganun ka big deal. But if you're going to make a mass production of a sandwich making or sandwich production, is portion control is very important. Okay, first one is because of standard recipe, standard texture, flavor of your sandwich. Okay, portion control of the weight and the quality and the size of your sandwich. Okay, so it is necessary to proportionate it the weight and scoop and slice of food items like ham or roasted beef or any kind of meat that you are using for your sandwich. So other ingredients can be portion control by slicing the meat thinly and correctly. Okay, so doon yun pumapasok sa mise en place while you are preparing all of the ingredients. Starting from that, nagpo-portion control ka na. Okay, so you will need a good meat slicer and a scale to weigh your meat. Okay, if you don't have a meat slicer, a knife is good enough already. Okay. For my next one, ayun, lumipat na siya. So for sandwich fillings, you can use scoops. Okay, yes po, ice cream scoops. Okay, actually for the ice cream scoops, there's different sizes. It's 3 ounce, 2 ounce, or 1 ounce. Okay, hindi lang po yung the usual na ginagamit nyo sa ice cream scoops. Okay, so make sure it does not exceed the scoop edge. The scoop is made so you can proportionate amount of food fills the scoop, no more, no less. If let's say a small scoop, okay, ganun lang siya. So lahat ng lalagyan mo is pare-parehas ng dami. Okay, so is what you can see here in the picture. For example, it is a tuna sandwich. Okay, the filling is a tuna mixed with the mayonnaise. Okay, or also you can use for the fillings or for the spread, you can also use piping. Okay, piping technique, you can use that one. Okay, just make sure lahat is proportionate or lahat pantay-pantay. Ayan, so sa sliced items are proportioned by count, such as the vegetables, other vegetables, tomato slice, cucumber slice, onion, ayan, and by weight. So you can do also by weight. So if it's 1 gram, 2 grams, so all of them should be measured. So if proportioning is by count naman, take care to slice to proper thickness. So kailangan pantay-pantay sila. Okay? So like this one, all of them in the table. For example, your sandwich, your standard dapat may tatlo lang siyang what do you call this? Tomato. So for the next, all of them only have 3 slices of tomato or 2 slices of onion. So lahat sila ganun lang din. Okay, so that's what we are called for the proportion control. Okay, so same as with the burgers. Ayan, slices, 1 slice only. Okay, now if done by weight, each portion can be placed on square of wax paper or stuck in a container. So more it applies to meat products, okay, such as burger patties. Okay, so naka-ready na siya. So you just put a slice of wax paper, then put the second one, third one, fourth slices of meats. Then you put it in a plastic bag or any kind of, or a sealed Ziploc or in a container, yeah, tight container, then put it in the refrigerator to make it ready or to prepare it. Okay, so ready to use na siya on the next production. Okay, so that's how we proportion uh our ingredients or the portion control, how we do the portion control for the sandwich making. Okay, actually it does not only apply to the sandwich but in other mass production, mass food production. Okay, so before we move on to the proper storage and sandwiches, proper or portion control is very important for you to monitor kung gaano na karami yung nagagawa niyo for the production, the quality, the standard quality of your food item, of your products. Okay, kailangan na kailangan po yun. Walang labis, walang kulang. Okay, if magkakaroon ng pagkakaiba sa iisang product, okay, makakaapekto yon sa inyong production or makakaapekto yun sa isang food company. Okay, that's why portion control is a very, very important. Okay, so now let's move on for this proper storage of sandwiches. Okay, so storing sandwiches is one of the most important activities after preparation or after the assembling. Okay, wherein they are to be kept properly to avoid spoilage. Okay, in a food industry, in a food business, kalaban talaga ang spoilage. Okay, so the most important principles for sandwich safety are keeping temperatures cool and avoiding cross contamination. Actually, we already discussed about how we going to avoid the cross contaminations. Okay, so actually nire-review lang naman natin. Okay, remember the basic formula 4-40-1-40. This can be applied to sandwiches. Okay, if you remember when we discussed the food safety, nung term 1, what I said is 2 hours. Okay, not should spend, or the perishable foods should not spend more than 2 hours. Okay, in the danger zone. Okay, but this formula can be applied to sandwiches. Okay, so this 4-40-1-40 means that perishable food, such as example natin is a sandwich, should spend no more than 4 hours at a temperature between 40 degrees Fahrenheit to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay? So, yun yung meaning ng 440, 140, which is parehas din naman may digit na number 4. So, mabilis natin siyang matatandaan. 440, 140. Perishable foods should spend no more than 4 hours at temperature between 40 degree to 140 degree Fahrenheit. Okay, so by the end of 4 hours, bacteria may have multiplied to unsafe levels, to unsafe, so food that has sat out at a room temperature, nasa danger zone for 2 hours and then been returned to refrigerator has only another 2 hours of room temperature shelf life left unless it has been cooked again. Okay. So I'm just going to repeat that this is 44140, which means perishable foods should spend no more than 4 hours at temperature between 40 and 140 degrees Fahrenheit. By the end of 4 hours, bacteria may have multiplied to unsafe levels. So food that has sat at room temperature for 2 hours and then been returned to the refrigerator, okay, has only another 2 hours of room temperature shelf life left unless it has been cooked again. Okay, so that's why in total it's 4. Okay, so I just have some tips, okay, how we store ingredients for sandwich making. Okay, so the first one is some sandwich ingredients and filling should be cooked, covered in a separate airtight container, refrigerate until ready to use. Of course, sandwich, madali lang naman kasi siyang gawin. Okay? Ang medyo hassle dito is yung pag-prepare ng mga ingredients ninyo. Okay? For the sandwich kasi, it's just assemble. Okay? Assembling of the food items. Okay? So, some of the ingredients na pwede naman ng lutuin in advance. So, here you can cover it in a separate airtight container, refrigerate until ready to use. Okay? And then the next one, di nag-pop up yung picture. Bakit kaya? Okay, so for the second one, at least kita nyo na yung picture. I just refreshed this one. Keep bread tightly wrapped and in moisture-proof wrapping. Okay, so this stops it from drying and guards against picking up odors. It should be away from ovens and hot equipment, okay, to maintain the temperature. Okay, I hope this works. Okay, so if the bread must be kept for more than 1 day, okay, it may be frozen. Okay, remember that bread, mabilis lang ang shelf life niyan. Okay, mabilis lang siyang magkaroon ng what they call this one, ng mold. Okay, molds is created or nag-a-appear ang mga molds natin sa bread because of moisture. Okay, air moisture contributes a lot in molds. That's why on the first one or the second tip that I gave you, that you should keep it or keep the bread tightly wrapped and in moisture proof wrapping. Okay, plastic pwede naman yun basta maayos lang pagkakalagay. Okay, so if the bread must be kept for more than 1 day, it may be frozen thaw without unwrapping. Okay, yes po, pwede pong ma-frozen ang bread. Okay, just make sure na na-pack siya or naplagay siya sa moisture proof wrapping. Okay. So, and then you're going to thaw it in a room temperature. Okay, hindi nyo siya kailangan tanggalin sa plastic. Okay, basta ilabas nila sa refrigerator or ilabas sa freezer. Okay, if it's ready to use. Okay, ito ay applicable, okay, sa mga mass production. Okay, sa maramihang gawa ng mga sandwiches. That's why they are using this technique. Okay, pero kung sa mga bahay-bahay din naman natin, actually, mabilis naman nating nakukonsume ang mga breads. Okay, not more than 1 week and that one loaf bread actually, nauubos na natin. Okay, I'm not sure sa inyo, but on our own experience is hindi naman nagtatagal yung one loaf of bread. Okay, kasi every morning, merienda, laging kinakain. Okay, so this technique, ng freezing of bread can be applicable for a mass production. Okay, so the next one is to wrap sandwiches with wax paper, paper napkins, plastic wraps, or aluminum foil to keep them in good condition. Okay, so I think you know it already. So at least you wrap the sandwich. You can use anything. You can use wax paper, napkins, or table napkins, or tissue paper, plastic yan. Pwede yan. Okay, before you serve that one. Okay, so to keep a number of unwrapped sandwiches, just place a damp towel in a shallow pan and cover with wax paper. So arrange layers of sandwiches with wax paper between each layer. Then put wax paper over the sandwiches and cover it with damp towel. Okay, keep the sandwiches in the refrigerator until serving time. Okay, so you can apply that one if maraming kailangan yung i-prepare na sandwich. And then, refrigerate sandwiches for as long as possible. Okay, maybe an hour or two. Okay, so if there will be a time between making and serving, cover each tray with wax paper or cling wrap to prevent the sandwiches from drying out. Okay, so malaking tulong yung paglalagay natin ng wax paper or mga cling wrap. Okay. The other, that's why also in your sandwich making, avoid the moisture, too much air moisture on your sandwiches because again, this is bread. Okay. Air moisture or any moisture can contribute to the molds. Okay. So for the next one, creative sandwich presentation. Sandwiches should be attractively served on plates for individual serving. It can be individual serving or platter for multiple serving. So the plate or platters can be decorated with suitable ingredients to enhance the overall presentation. So I just have here, actually nasa quicker na naman ito, but let me just reiterate one more time. Okay, so spread left lettuce on tray. Decorate the tray edges with top curly part of the leaves. The base of the leaves point toward the center of the tray. Okay, this is for platter serving, so you can use the lettuce. So next one is to spear the center of each sandwiches with a long toothpick. If the sandwiches are layered, make sure visible ang toothpick na itutusok ninyo sa sandwich. Okay, baka kasi to avoid any hassle pa. Okay, accidents, especially matulis ang toothpick. Okay, so just make sure visible siya, hindi yung pasok sa loob. What if kung iba ang kakain, hindi alam na may toothpick? So, magkakaroon pa tayo na accidents. Okay, so dapat visible siya. So, attractive presentation makes a garnish tray more appealing. So, you should learn the techniques for creating a balanced, colorful, and appetizing buffet arrangement. Okay. So there's a lot of garnishes that complement sandwiches, such as variety of olives, peppers, pickles, and to add color and textures. Okay. So as you can see here, spearing the center of each sandwich with a long toothpick if the sandwiches are layered, okay, such as clubhouse sandwiches or slices or Subway sandwiches, and the pick or the toothpick keeps the sandwich together on the tray and make them neater for guests to select so that the sandwich won't fall apart when someone picks it up. Just make sure visible see toothpick. Okay, next one is you arrange the sandwich by the filling with the contents exposed to make sandwich selection more obvious, and it adds visual appeal. Okay, sandwich quarters should be arranged with cut edge of the sandwich pointing up at the viewer. Arrange finger sandwiches in a spiral or setting up the sandwiches in rows in the tray, pwedeng in one platter, nakahilera, ganon, with a row of garnishes between each row of the sandwiches. Okay, and you can place vegetarian sandwiches on a separate tray from sandwich made with meat products. And last one, handle food picks carefully. So remove food picks before giving sandwiches to children or impaired adult. Okay? And also may mga personalized naman ng mga picks, mga toothpicks like this one as you can see. Different from the toothpick na meron tayo, which is it is designed na merong ballpoint sa end niya. Okay, the other one is yung may mga toothpick with a flag on top or any kind of character on top para lang visible talaga siya. Okay, but if you are serving for children or for impaired adult, okay, much better as you serve it, kayo na mismo ang magtanggal. Okay, it is much safer. So next or last is plate pinwheel sandwiches in a circular design on a platter with the pinwheel filling facing upward to show off the colors of the ingredients. Again, visual appeal. Okay. So just to wrap up everything, first is portion control is necessary to proportionate the weight. You can scoop it and slice of food items like ham or other vegetable items to have the standard quality of sandwich production. Okay. Second, storing sandwiches is one of the most important activities after preparation, wherein they are to kept properly to avoid spoilage. Okay, remember our rule for 40-140. Then the last one, sandwiches should be attractively served on plates for individual serving or on platter for multiple servings. So the plate or platters can be decorated with suitable ingredients to enhance the overall presentation. So thank you so much for listening in our discussion, and let us see each other next week for the discussion of our performance task. Okay, so thank you so much. Goodbye, grade 9.